Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. And thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use your Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our panelists at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so the panelists cannot see nor hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for more. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available in about a week at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. And with that, I'd love to turn it over to our first panelist, who is from Ohio Wesleyan University.
Great, thank you so much. All right, hi everyone. My name is Nicole Dianzumba. I am a Senior Assistant Director of Admission at Ohio Wesleyan. I'm also a proud alum and I'm a Pennsylvania native as well. So thank you for coming in this evening, and I'd love to share more about Ohio Wesleyan University with you all today. We are a nationally liberal arts university. We have students coming in from multiple states and multiple countries as well that I'll touch upon in a moment. But when it comes to the description of where we are located, we're located in Central Ohio. We are 30 minutes north of the Columbus area, and we are right next door, about roughly a 30-second walk from a town called Delaware, Ohio. And that has 40,000 different individuals. There are nearly 50 restaurants. There's a movie theater that shows first-run films, a lot of great ways to stay engaged, whether it's through internship experiences, other types of experiences with community service, or just to relax and have fun. There are great ways to get integrated with the community right next door and right down the road as well too. And so when it comes to what helps Ohio Wesleyan stand out, if there's anything that I would love for you to take from this presentation today, it's the OU Connection. It's our signature program where we encourage our students to think big, to go global, and to get real as well. You'll work with professors and staff and even alumni at times too. You can design your own unique OU Connection pathway, making sure you get exactly what you need out of your 4 years of college. And so when it comes to these opportunities, thinking big, you'll be able to be involved in research experiences. OU has only undergraduate students, so you're learning from the very best faculty who have the highest degree in their field. You can get involved in your freshman year, getting involved in research, whether it's on your own, in a group setting, or the professor mentoring you along the way. You can also apply for grants that allows you to have full funding towards a research experience. Really, the sky's the limit in terms of what you might create. When it comes to going global, nearly 70% of our students will study away in some way, shape, or form. Our students have actually been able to visit all 7 continents, whether it's due to coursework, research, or internship experiences. There is funding that's available for those experiences too, depending on where you might go. The third is getting real. We'd love for you to get more experiential learning when it comes to job shadowing or internships. There are ways for you to get course credit for full semester internships, and there are ways as well for you to shadow alumni, so that way you can get a little sneak peek at what that future career might be. And here's a quick example of what it looks like to be involved in an OU Connection pathway. No two students are going through their experiences in the same way. They could have the exact same major or the exact same overall thought process of what career they might like to go into, but yet we really do want to make sure it's specialized and fine-tuned to exactly what you might like to do. So for Ava, as you can see, she was involved primarily in the going global aspect of things. She was involved in learning courses, and she received grants to study abroad and be involved in other forms of research. And as you can see, she was able to land her first job in Alaska after graduating. So I encourage you to check out our website. There are a lot of great examples of what an OU Connection pathway can look like. But like I mentioned before, when it comes to where our students are coming in from and just involved on campus, we're going to take a screenshot of this. I know that we are limited on time, and as much as I'd love to dive in deeper, it might take a little bit more time to go into every single slide and every single square. But we do have under 2,000 students on campus. This past year, a little bit over 86% of our student population was able to be involved on campus and to participate in in-person learning. About roughly 13 and a half or so of students were learning remotely. And so when it comes to students coming in as well, about 22% of students are first generation, or they're the first in their family to attend a 4-year college, and more than 80% of our alumni directly after graduating are working in their field of study and their field of choice as well. And so when it comes to popular majors, we do have more than 70, which is double what you might see at a school of our size. But these are our top 5: zoology, business, psychology, health and human kinetics, and politics and government. Like I mentioned, there are plenty of other excellent areas to get involved in, but those just tend to be our top 5 when we see applicants coming through. And as well, when it comes to getting connected with us, yet again, feel free to take a screenshot as you see fit. But when it comes to getting involved, we do have campus visits available where you can come to campus, you can meet with professors and staff like me, for example. You can also meet with current students who can show you around on campus. We've recently renovated our freshman residential hall. It's brand new, there's 24/7 dining. There are different fitness centers that are available. And as well, there are other areas, of course, on campus that you get to explore. So we encourage you to find out more about us, whether it's online through our podcasts or our live tours, virtual tours. You can always schedule a meeting with me as well over Zoom or other ways too. But overall, we just encourage you when you're able to, when it's safe for you to do so, come to campus. We would love to see you. And as time goes along throughout this presentation, feel free to ask any questions you might have. I'll include some links in the chat. That way you can follow up with me and learn more about OU as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nicole. Our next school is going to be from King's College.
All right, slideshow's not working right now, but I will just go through this way. So thank you so much for having us today. So King's College, we are located in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, for those who are not familiar. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania is in northeastern side of state. We always like to say that we are 2 hours away from Philadelphia, as well as 2 hours from New York City, right smack in the middle. So it's a perfect location to be able to have a college. We also have a few other colleges in local areas. So there's a lot going on in our area. But King's College, we were founded in 1946. We were founded by the University of Notre Dame, and they are still, wait, here we go. Actually, now it's working. I'm sorry about that. And they're still our sister school today. So we have a great connection. Again, we have small little King's College, and then we have some amazing other colleges that we are partners with. When it comes to our students, we have about 2,400 students on campus, and students have applied from about 41 different states. And right now we're looking at about a male-female ratio, about 50%. We do have a lot of local students, but the great news is that we also have a lot of students who still reside on campus. So when you're thinking of a college of where you wish to attend, there's a lot going on the weekends, whether it be the different sporting events or what's happening in the city of Wilkes-Barre. So there's a lot happening, and because of that, it makes for a great atmosphere in the local area. On campus, we have over 50 different clubs and organizations. We also have a great volunteer service opportunity. Last year we did, actually 2 years ago, pre-COVID, we did about 180,000 hours of community service between our 2,400 students, which is fantastic. Then you can see we have 28 athletic teams in the MAC conference. In the next couple slides, I will show you exactly what athletics we have. Then we also have a great study abroad campus ministry and multicultural program on campus, where again, you're able to get involved and make sure that you get outside your comfort zone. I think that's something that we always like to say at King's is get outside your comfort zone. That's how you create a new friendship group and get learning different experiences. Just to run through quick majors potentially on campus, we do have our College of Liberal Arts. With our College of Liberal Arts, we have a classroom size of average about 14 students or so. So we want that small hands-on experience, especially in our liberal arts profession. And then we have our sciences, which makes up a lot of students on our campus. With our sciences, our labs are capped at 16 students per classroom, and these numbers were all pre-COVID as well. So it's not like we had the ability to change much. We didn't need to do that. So our small class sizes really helped for easy transition during these tough times. And now great news is that we're going back to 100% starting this fall, and we're close to that already this past spring, which is great. Here are some of our health science programs, also some amazing majors that we have. Our athletic training, exercise science, and nursing. We also have a physician assistant 5-year master's included in this as well, which is our highest program on campus. And then our second highest is our McGowan School of Business. So we are AACSB accredited business school, which means that we're able to help you much easier for a career path in the future with our business program. Then we have some engineering programs, and we also have some 3+2 set up with University of Notre Dame and Washington St. Louis as well. So we have great engineering programs, and still same thing, small class sizes when it comes to that. And some of our accreditations that we have, some others that we have in here: athletic training, chemistry, nursing, physician assistant, and then we should be getting engineering in the near future. I did mention that we do have our 28 athletic teams, and you can see those here. And then we have great dining office options on campus. We want to make sure that you have a variety, which includes one of our Chick-fil-A's on campus, which is fantastic. Again, we hope to see you at King's College. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Our next school is going to be Cairn University.
Hey everybody, my name is Robert and I am one of the admissions counselors at Cairn University. I'm sorry that it says Martha. She was unable to make it today due to the fact that she actually tested positive for COVID. So please be praying for her. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with our slide share, but it's not necessarily working right now. So I'll just kind of go off the dome right now. I'm the admissions counselor for the state of New Jersey, but we have admissions counselors that vary across the whole United States. Cairn is a pretty small school, about 1,500 people, and it spreads across, we have about 37 different countries represented in our small little school. So we have a pretty big and diverse community at Cairn. We have about 5 different, all of our majors, we have about 70 plus of them. And then out of that, our top 5 are education, psychology, business, criminal justice, and sports management. So there's a wide variety of different things that you can do at Cairn. Our student to teacher ratio is around 11:1, which is something that we really like to kind of show all of prospective students purely based on the fact that our community aspect is something that we want to preserve and to keep for the near future. Our teachers are people who want to invest in you and everything that they do when it comes to internship opportunities or really everything in between. So we really wanted to point that out at Cairn University. The second thing that I want to point out is the fact that Cairn is really diverse in terms of the different types of majors that we offer and who offers them. So that's another big selling point about Cairn. Finally, I wanted to quickly talk about the admissions process for us. You would submit your SAT and ACT scores, and then after that, your application, which takes about 15-20 minutes or so. And then we would get a decision back to you ASAP once you turn in your transcript. And then finally, we would love to get some more information to you in terms of what major you're interested in, who your admissions counselor is, different things like that. I would be more than happy to give you some more information, as well as the actual admissions counselor's information, Martha. Like I said, I'm experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties right now. So hopefully we can send that out to you ASAP. But I do thank you for your time, and I hope you guys have a good one.
Fantastic, thank you. So our next school up is going to be Columbia College, Chicago.
All right, give me one moment, y'all, while I get this up. Perfect. Thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Jasenia Sanchez. I am one of the admissions counselors from Columbia College Chicago, who works with students in Pennsylvania. Columbia is a college for creatives in downtown Chicago. We are in the South Loop neighborhood, which you're looking at right there, with one of our actual dorm buildings, or you can just call them apartments, right in the South Loop neighborhood, across from Grant Park, not too far from Millennium Park, definitely not too far from the lake, which is awesome. Now, Columbia is a school that combines creative and media arts, liberal arts, and business expertise. Through our curriculum, you'll really experience rigorous academics, a lot of hands-on learning with collaboration and career preparation. We incorporate business, marketing, and entrepreneur skills into the education because these skills are transferable and can prepare you for countless paths within your industry. Now, we're home to around 7,000 students, mostly undergraduate with a small graduate student population. In fall 2020, we did welcome around 1,700 new freshmen and transfer students to campus. We are still proud to offer small class sizes and a low faculty to student ratio. Our average class size is around 18 students. As with any average, there are some larger classes which usually happen in the first year, while some of your more specialized and advanced classes will actually be smaller than 18. These small class sizes really allow for improved access to faculty members, development of group projects, which you'll definitely experience a lot, and networking with peers, the faculty members, and professionals in the field to help launch successful careers. Now, we have over 60 majors and programs that you can see on here in fields like visual arts, performing arts, media and digital arts, communication and writing, music and sound, and business and management. Anything ranging from art history, marketing, film and TV, music business. There's so many that you can dive through. If you go to colum.edu/majors, you can learn about the department itself, the majors, the kind of curriculum these majors have, to see if it fits your interest. You can also notice that some of them, while they're listed as BA, also have a BFA listed. We offer these select programs as a BFA or BMUS that are more credit intensive and have some different requirements to apply into, but you definitely will receive more details when the time comes if interested in one of those programs. Now, minors are also encouraged. We offer a wide variety of creative and practical minors to really supplement your skill set. Some examples can be like teaching artists is a minor, intellectual property management, writing for television, hip hop studies, graphic design, environmental studies is actually a really popular one. So there's great ways to use minors to really complement the major you choose. Now, our goal is to really foster a creative learning environment for our students. It's why we say we're a college for creatives, an environment that isn't just in classes, but it really extends to clubs and organizations, your residence centers, and of course, the city of Chicago itself, since it's your playground. We do understand the creative student. We know what you need, how you live, how to encourage you, support you, and really propel you and your craft. Students do have access to different facilities. Some of the examples are here on the screen to really put their skills to work and expand their portfolio. Whether that's within class projects or maybe some ideas that you've gotten out of class but can use resources and facilities since you're a student. Now, our own theaters, you're gonna have access to put on musicals, studios to record your own music, sets and cameras to do your own films, all that access so that you can continue to build your craft and build that portfolio. Your time at Columbia is really about so much more than just that time you spend in the classroom. As a student, you'll participate in ensembles, rehearsals, that studio time I mentioned, real life projects that directly relate to your coursework and your future career. And of course, if you're interested in joining clubs and organizations, we have more than 85, ranging from volunteer organizations to groups like Black Student Union and Latino Alliance. So there's a lot of ways to get involved and continue to create your learning environment. Now, our students, faculty members, and alumni have a great presence in Chicago's creative workplaces. While Columbia is student-focused, we want our students to be job-focused. Career preparation is integrated from the very first day, not just at the end of your college journey. It occurs both in and out of the classrooms. As students build their bodies of work, staff in the Career Center will provide individual career counseling, which is why I wanted to highlight it tonight. They assist in building a personal brand, including setting up websites, business cards, and more, doing mock interviews, and even resumes, cover letters, stuff like that. They help students really explore their career and internship options and opportunities in the city and outside of the city. You can find also on and off campus jobs and internship opportunities through one of our job portals called Handshake, which is a great resource for students to use. Now, students and families have many opportunities to get to know more about Columbia, even during these virtual times. We do have right now virtual tours going on that can go more in depth about the facilities you have access to, where you'd be living, all that good stuff. We always do an open house, which might be virtual this November, one-on-one chats with admission counselors. So don't be afraid to go to columbia.edu/virtual. And then feel free to just snap a picture of this slide so you can have my contact info and all our social media. Again, my name is Jasenia Sanchez, and thank you.
Thank you, Jasenia. Our next school is going to be St. Mary's College.
Hey, everybody. Give me just a quick second here to get things running. Thank you for the quick introduction. My name is Alex Bauer. I'm an admission counselor here at St. Mary's College. I've been working at St. Mary's for about 7 years. I'm from South Bend originally, so this is my hometown. I work with our local students. I work with students from the state of California, and I am the one and only counselor for the whole state of Pennsylvania as well. So if you're listening to me today live or recorded, I'm your admission counselor. I'll be the first to read your application, certainly not the last. If this is your first time hearing about St. Mary's College, just kind of the basics about us. We are a smaller campus environment, about 1,600 students at St. Mary's. We are a strong Catholic institution, so of course you don't need to be Catholic in order to attend, but if you're excited about the Catholic faith, want to dive into that and really have a great Catholic experience, we can provide that for you at St. Mary's College. Perhaps our most unique and distinguishing feature is the fact that we're a women's college as well. We'll share a little bit more about that as well as we go through this. St. Mary's College, where are we located? Our address is in Notre Dame, Indiana. Our largest city nearby, which is pretty much or just south of our campus, is South Bend, Indiana, a little over 100,000 people, so a decent sized city where there's plenty to do, multiple malls, multiple movie theaters, plenty of restaurants and things like that going on, but small enough where there is no traffic, there is no parking problems, relatively low cost of living. And students come to St. Mary's from all over the place. We're only about a third in state, and most of our students come from obviously outside of Indiana, and they come from all outside of Indiana. We have a lot of students from Florida, Boston, Pennsylvania, California, all over the place. So I think it's really, really exciting that you are just as likely, truly, to meet a student from Cleveland, Ohio, as you are from Los Angeles, California. I think that's really, really exciting that we bring students in from all over the place, a really diverse population with students bringing different ideas and different talents. Individualized is really the word that I like to focus on when talking about our academics. Every student is a little different and a little unique at St. Mary's. You really have the opportunity to really make this your experience at St. Mary's. Even if you're both nursing majors, even if you're both business majors, biology, communication, psychology, those are some of our more asked about and great programs at St. Mary's. You're still gonna have your own unique experience. It is really common at St. Mary's to see students that say, I wanna be a nurse, but I need theater in my life. Or I wanna be a speech pathologist, oh, but I have to have dance in my life. You see that often at St. Mary's. Most students will plug and play different major minor combinations to be able to have that career preparation, which we absolutely want you to have, but you shouldn't have to give up your personal passions and what you enjoy doing on the side in order to have that career preparation as well. Of course, that flexibility academically really allows students to professionally really draw on everything the college has to offer. You don't need to declare a major till the end of your sophomore year. So if you are a undecided student, we can be a great place for an undecided student as well. I mentioned that we are a women's college and proud to be so at St. Mary's. If you are listening to me and you are from a co-ed high school, the majority of our students come from co-ed high schools. Also, there's a decent portion of our students that their high school is actually larger than St. Mary's. So definitely kind of a unique environment. And we're really excited about that unique environment at St. Mary's. Every leadership role on campus is held by a woman. The highest GPA, the lowest GPA. You are really learning and growing and developing with other strong women around you. My wife is a graduate of St. Mary's College, and I always share a lot of her great experiences that she had when she was at St. Mary's for her 4 years. So definitely a unique environment, but one that we are very proud of and our students really do enjoy. Can I go to women's college and still get a job? I often get that question. The world is co-ed. Don't I have to go to a co-ed school? Absolutely not. Our students do get jobs. Our students do go to grad schools. And where? They come from everywhere, and our students are getting jobs, truly coast to coast. They're going to graduate programs, truly coast to coast. And I think that's really, really exciting. As a native of South Bend, Indiana, I'd love it if all that great brain power stayed here. And some do, but oftentimes they continue east or they continue back west or go adopt a new hometown. So really excited that, yes, our students absolutely are getting jobs and are doing great things after they leave St. Mary's College. We recognize that we are not the cheapest school out there. There are other cheaper schools. We absolutely understand that. So we want to make sure St. Mary's can be as affordable as possible. Our academic scholarships start at $15,000 and go all the way up to 30 grand per year while you're at St. Mary's College. That's just with academic scholarships. We of course have need-based aid that we can provide as well for students. We do have a 4-year promise. You are going to graduate in 4 years, even an accounting major, even a nursing major, business major. You can still study abroad. You're going to graduate in 4 years. And we have been for many years now and still are a top 100 liberal arts college as well. I mentioned that we're Notre Dame, Indiana. I'm glad that King's College, our fellow Holy Cross institution, is here. The University of Notre Dame is right across the street from us. Holy Cross College is immediately to our south. So you truly have 3 different campuses to pull from. We are separate and unique institutions. You never need to go to Notre Dame if you're not into football and hockey. That's okay. But if you're excited about football, if you're excited about joining the Notre Dame marching band, if you want to go to the football games, you can do all that. You literally just walk right across the street. So I really enjoy that you have kind of the best of both worlds with that large D1 sports across the street, but yet still that small family community and that women's college experience at the St. Mary's campus. We are on the Common App. We are a free application. We've been test optional for a number of years and are very much a holistic review process. The essay is really important. GPAs are important to us, but the entire high school transcript is important to us. Very much a holistic review process. Like I said, my name is Alex. My email is on the screen and I put it in the chat. I'm the one and only counselor for the state of Pennsylvania. We are hoping to be traveling to Pennsylvania this fall. So I hope to see you at your high school this fall. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. And we're going to head into our last panelist, who is from Bucknell University.
Good evening. My name is Ben Cavanaugh. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions here at Bucknell. I've been here for 15 years, so I'm slightly biased towards this place. We are located in beautiful, bucolic Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, Americans' vacation destination. You probably think Central PA this time of year, probably thinking Hershey Park. Not that far away. So if you get bored of the rides and the corn dogs, just pop over to Harrisburg, north on 15, go about an hour. You'll go right to the entrance of campus, take a right. You'll see Rook Chapel on the left. Go up the hill, right? You'll see Freeze Hall, which is our office. And just above that is this beautiful picture, the quad, because it's always sunny at Bucknell. So we're an institution of about 3,600 students. We're actually one of the larger liberal arts colleges in the country, which is liberal arts college is kind of one of those weird old-fangled terms that people use. And I think it confuses folks. And they're like, what is that about? I think from our perspective, when we say we're a liberal arts college, we mean 2 things. First, we mean an institution that specializes in undergraduate education. So we have very few grad students. Nearly all of our students are undergrad. They're here because they want to work with professors. They want smaller class sizes. They're looking for an intense, rigorous undergraduate education. So you start with sort of focusing on undergraduate education. The second element, heavily residential. 90% of our students live on campus. We do guarantee housing all 4 years. So I think the kind of student, I get this a lot, like, why would I schlep all the way up to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania to go to college? And I think, that's a great question. I think that's the kind of question you should be asking through this process. I think the kind of student that's attracted to Bucknell has a sense of adventure. They have a sense of exploration. They want smaller classes. They love the fact that they're all taught by professors, that they are teachers first, that they're mentors. They invest a lot of themselves and a lot of their resources, a lot of their time into the students to make sure they're successful. Since the professors teach all the classes, they insist on smaller class sizes. Their average class size is 20. So we teach over 700 classes a year. Less than 50 of them have more than 40 students enrolled. So, we focus on undergraduate education. The professors really get to know the students. The students really have an interactive experience. This is not a place where you can hide. This is not a place to come to hide. The students also want that vibrant on-campus experience. We have over 200 clubs and organizations, and most students are involved in a few things, and we encourage that. Because the more things you get involved with, the more people you get to know, the more acquaintances you make, the more this place starts to feel like home. And I think that's the goal. When the institution feels like home, when you feel like you're a part of a place, then you can be successful, then you can flourish. So we encourage our students to get involved in things. Like I said, we have over 200 clubs and organizations. They run the gamut from academic organizations to things like Dumbledore's Army. We also have 27 Division I sports. We're actually in the Patriot League, which was modeled on the Ivy League, by the Ivy League itself. So when we say student athlete, we're not being ironic. I think our students, they want to do everything. They want to be involved in campus life. They want to do research. They want to study abroad. They want to give back. They want to make friendships that last a long time. And then they also want to go out into the world and conquer it, and in a good way. They want to make their mark. They want to succeed. We're placing 95% of our students within 9 months of graduation, but part of it is the resources we have for that aren't just available to you as you're about to graduate. They're available to you for the rest of your life. So we really talk about Bucknell. You really talk about a sense of community. You really talk about trying to create an experience where students can flourish and become, as our president is very fond of saying, the best versions of themselves. Now, in terms of admissions, it's a holistic process. That's just a fancy way of saying we look at everything. Next year, we will continue to be test optional. So we're looking at grade, strength of schedule, grade trends, also strength of activities, extracurricular recommendation letters, essay, really everything that helps us get a sense of who you are, what you're about, and are you someone who can flourish given the environment that we have here. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you're interested in visiting, we are open for visitors. Our website is updated. Our visitor schedule is updated for the summer, and we'll have fall visitation as well. So thanks for tuning in. I look forward to some of your questions.
All right, folks. Well, that brings us to the end of our presentations. And I'd like to switch gears to a quick Q&A. So if everyone can hold tight while I set myself up, I'd love to invite back our panelists. Great, here we go. So we're going to go in the same order that we presented. We'll start with Ohio Wesleyan University. And the first question at hand is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Great question. The advice I would give would be twofold: be prepared, but be flexible. We've all been flexible this past year through the pandemic. We've had to be. And I think the best thing you can do right now is be prepared, look into those resources, especially depending on whatever it is you might need from a college experience, but be flexible. It's a part of the journey. We've all been through it here as a panel. And I think there's a lot of beautiful outcomes if you embrace that flexibility, because whatever's at the end of that road will be your next journey going off to college. Good luck.
That's a great point, Nicole. Thank you for that. Our next school is going to be King's College.
Absolutely. My advice would just to be very similar, just be flexible and be open to options. Be open to whether maybe a virtual visit, whether it be if the school does allow to visit in person, to be able to make those options and be able to, I use this a little bit in my presentation, get outside your comfort zone. You might hear of a school that is far away, go visit there, or it might be a school close that you think you know of, but really you haven't visited a campus or a tour. You might just drive by it every day. Make sure you try to visit those schools and really get to understand the community and the atmosphere and see if you can see yourself sitting in those seats or not while in that school.
Great, thank you, Eric. Next up is Cairn University.
Yeah, first of all, I just again want to apologize for the fact that my PowerPoint didn't really work. But I think the best advice that I would give someone would be to be flexible, but also to be prayerful about their decision that they're making. I think one of the biggest reasons for a lot of our people coming to Cairn is the fact that they utilize their teachers for help, they utilize other students for help, and they were also very prayerful about their decision. So if you do those two things, I feel like you'll have a pretty good understanding of what you want to do at college and where you want to go.
Fantastic, thank you. Next up is going to be Columbia College, Chicago.
Awesome, thank you. Another piece of advice that I would give is treat this as the investment that it is. It is an investment in yourself, and it's important to ask your questions, get to know your admissions counselor so that you can utilize their knowledge and everything they can bring to this process. Whether it's also on the financial side, treat this as the investment that it is. Make sure you fully understand what you are about to jump into and really are choosing. It's okay to ask all those questions to make sure you're making the best decision for yourself.
Thank you, Jasenia. Next up is going to be St. Mary's College.
I think Janessa kind of stole a few of mine, but that means they're good ones. We're all private schools on this call today, so yeah, don't be scared to look at us. Don't just say, oh, they're private, I can never afford it. We all, I'm sure, have fantastic financial aid packages. And I always tell students to be true to themselves. Again, the majority of us here, we're all smaller liberal arts colleges. So even though all your friends are going to the big name university or the big state school, don't be afraid to be true to yourself and go to some place where you might be happy and really successful, even if it's not maybe where all of your friends are going.
All good points, Alex. Thank you. Next up is going to be Bucknell University.
I think the key word is process here. It sure is. It's not your parents. It's not your friends. It's not your guidance counselors. And everyone's going to be different because everyone's looking for different things. They want different things out of the experience. Ultimately, this is an existential process, right? You're trying to figure out who you want to be. You're trying to figure out what direction you're headed in. You're trying to figure out some of the life's big questions. This isn't comfortable, as others have pointed out. It takes time. And I think, you get as much out of the college search process as you put into it. It's like running a marathon. No one ever said running a marathon, I wish I'd trained less. And I think with the college search process, no one ever said, I wish I'd spent less time on it, right? Because there's so many great options out there. Especially use this summer to take the time to do the homework, to start looking at websites, start looking at publications, and start thinking about, well, what do I want out of this?
Yeah, it's a really good point, Ben, and especially the fact that students had the opportunity to explore virtually instead of having to travel places, hopefully making things a little bit more accessible. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next question, this question is a little bit more about campus life and culture on campus. So I'm really excited to hear about your answers. And again, we'll start with Ohio Wesleyan University. And the question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Yeah, so I love to pick from Ohio Wesleyan, but just choosing one, there is a day that's called Day on the J. And the reason why it's significant is because we have a main pathway called the J Walk. It branches out into multiple areas of campus. It's essentially like a heartbeat of campus. And Day on the J is this giant carnival where faculty, staff, students. Sometimes professors call out their class a little bit early and walk with you today on the J, but it's a great way to relax. It opens up the school year and it also closes the school year as well right before finals. This past year, we were able to modify it a little bit just to make sure it was safe and accessible, but that's something, it's a great event, just to relax, see old friends, meet new friends, and just enjoy campus.
Great, thank you, Nicole. Next up, we have King's College.
Absolutely. So 2 days that kind of tie into each other. The first day is obviously move-in day, that on campus where there's just so much energy. But on move-in day, you walk on our lane, we call it Lane's Lane, that through all the professors and staff members of campus to go into your orientation. So we do that, and all the students just walk by everyone. By graduation day, 4 or 5 years later for some students, the great news is that they do the same thing, but that time that they're able to hug and shake hands of all your professors and your staff members. So you get to really embrace who you've made connections with over the last 4 years. And a couple of years ago, we had Lou Holtz, a famous Notre Dame football coach, as our commencement speaker. And he said he's been to he's gave 14 speeches, and he says he's never seen anything like that. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes or so for all the students to walk through our line, which is really cool. Again, it just shows all the community that you gain over the last few years while on campus. It's always my favorite as a student and now as a staff member.
Yeah, it is pretty neat that you can relive that. Thanks for sharing, Eric. Next up is going to be Cairn University.
Yeah, so it's really hard to choose just one event, but I think the one that I'm going to go for is something that we call 10th hour breakfast. And basically what that is that during finals week, we know that all of our students have a really rough time in terms of studying late nights and writing all those papers and everything like that. So at about 7:30, 8 p.m., all the teachers and faculty go up to our cafeteria and make breakfast food for all of our students. And then around 10 p.m., it's pretty much the whole undergraduate population of around 800 or 850 students who kind of all jump into line and get served breakfast. And then there's songs and chants that they all do just to kind of commemorate the semester that they had. So it does happen twice a year, and it's a really fun event that we have. And I think everybody who comes in freshman year and everybody who's currently a student looks forward to it. So.
Great, thank you, Robert. Our next school is going to be Columbia College, Chicago.
So for us, the one I can think of is, of course, our Manifest Festival. It's our urban arts festival at the end of every year. We host it usually the second week of May, and we basically, aside from, these last 2 Mays, we usually shut down the streets of Chicago and everybody's pretty much putting on performances right on the street. There's food, there's games, different students showing their art, a lot of seniors especially doing their last hurrah to kind of show all of the work they've been putting in all these years. So it's kind of a way to just celebrate art, but also a last celebration of our seniors graduating. And what's great is even during the pandemic, our students they throw the whole festival, they plan it, they all have jobs and responsibilities to throw it. They were able to turn it virtual, which was amazing to see, especially the year 2020 when it had to happen very quickly, but it just really is an event that brings the whole campus together.
Thanks, Jasenia. Next up, we have St. Mary's College.
A favorite tradition on the top of my mind right now, because it kind of just happened in the last few days or weeks, I suppose. There's one St. Mary's ring that a graduate gets. There's not choices. You can't pick different designs and styles and this color or that color. Every graduate gets the same ring. And most of those students actually get that ring right as the end of their junior year happens. And so we had a number of our ambassadors and tour guides that we work closely with that are juniors going into their senior year. And just a few short weeks ago, seeing the joy on their faces and the pride, knowing that, kind of what they've accomplished so far. But also there's a bittersweet moment because they also say, senior year and the final year is coming up on me. But the St. Mary's ring and the excitement and the pride that it brings to the students and that sense of camaraderie and family really is on the top of my mind right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. And our last panelist is going to be from Bucknell University.
I'm a big film geek. We own the campus theater in town, which during the summer runs a lot of first run films. During the school year, we have several film studies classes, so they show their films there. So it's a beautiful 1942 Art Deco movie theater that we've modernized, but we still have 35 millimeter projection as well as digital projection. So some amazing films, some esoteric films, and most of them are free to the public, which is great. A couple of years ago, there was a class on the history of horror film, and we're watching like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought, this is for class. This is so awesome, and I've never seen it. If you get there early, in the back of the theater, we've got couches and wingback chairs. So I'm usually the first person in line because it's nothing like watching a film in a big theater in front of a big crowd in a wingback chair. It's really pretty cool.
Thank you, Ben. So folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up our webinar because we are at the end of our presentation. And before I start off with any closing remarks, I just want to take the time to thank our panelists for being here, for sharing all the incredible insight about the process and their schools to our audience. So thank you so much to our panelists. And then with those closing thoughts, once you do close this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey. And we'd appreciate any feedback that you could provide for us. As I mentioned at the beginning, this fair is going on until tomorrow. So there are more sessions to be offered. Be sure to sign up for more. And if you want to access this particular recording, it's going to be available in about a week at stripescan.com/Pennsylvania. Thank you everybody for being here, and have a great rest of your day, evening, wherever you're joining us from.